Number 10. Sister Tragedy. 18-year-old Obdulia Sanchez killed her sister while live streaming on Instagram. This is arguably one of the most infamous live stream murder cases ever. Sanchez's sister was only 14 years old when she tragically lost her life. It all started when Sanchez got behind the wheel while intoxicated. As she drove recklessly, she filmed her and her sister for all her viewers, and eventually the world to see. Unfortunately for everyone involved, Sanchez wasn't really paying attention. She ended up veering into the wrong lane and causing the deadly accident that stole her own sister's life. Sanchez was drunk driving during the crash and was charged with gross vehicular manslaughter. She was sentenced to 6 years in jail. However, she probably wouldn't have gotten in so much trouble if she hadn't gotten out of the vehicle after the crash and continued the live stream for the whole world to see. Yes, this idiot recorded her sister's mangled corpse. You can hear her in the video saying, "I effing killed my sister, okay? I know I'm going to jail for life. This is the last thing I wanted to happen. Okay, I don't effing care though. I'm gonna hold it down. Rest in peace, sweetie. If you don't survive, I am so effing sorry." End quote. She really didn't seem that emotional though. She didn't even show remorse about the fact that she literally killed her sister. Obdulia Sanchez's story didn't end with her going to jail though. The murder happened in 2017, and even though she was supposed to spend 6 years in prison, she got early release and was paroled in 2019. 26 days after being released, she led police on a wild car chase, blowing through stop signs and red lights before eventually running off the road. When the police caught up to her, they found a loaded gun in the car. She was sent back to prison. Clearly, she belongs there. She just can't seem to make any good choices. Number 9. Left out in the cold. How far would you go to address an emotion as strong as jealousy? And what excuse would you use in order to remedy this emotion? Sadly enough, couples who are experiencing such emotions during their relationship don't end it on a high note, just like this Russian live streamer. On December 2nd, 2020, somewhere in Russia, a streamer commonly known by his username Reflay broadcasted 3 streams within 7 hours. The first broadcast was innocent enough, with Reflay doing his usual rounds as an entertainer. That is, until his girlfriend Valentina and her friend Marina entered the scene. Initially, they were simply having fun and having a couple drinks. Things soon took a dark turn on the second broadcast, where Valentina and Reflay started arguing. Eventually, Valentina snaps and starts threatening Reflay with a knife. She starts destroying Reflay's computer while Reflay tries to stop her, and the stream is abruptly cut off. After the stream stopped, Reflay allegedly forced Valentina out of the house, wearing only her underpants into the freezing cold temperatures. Oh, and she's pregnant. He then starts the third broadcast where he explains what went down. It was later found that Reflay was apparently seen pushing Valentina out by their neighbors. He was afraid of getting the police called on him, so he let her back in, but it was already too late. She was barely breathing. In a failed attempt to revive her, he laid her on the couch and kept the stream rolling while calling for the ambulance until the paramedics arrived and pronounced Valentina dead. This became a viral case in Russia, and Reflay was later taken into custody after 2 months of hiding. He was sent to a maximum security facility and was sentenced to serve 6 years in jail. Reports that Reflay was paid $1,000 or more in tips by viewers to perform abusive actions or stunts on Valentina surfaced. One of them included using pepper spray on her. Such abuse must not be tolerated. Unfortunately, Valentina realized this way too late. Number 8. FORTNITE wife beater. In Australia, a guy streaming on Twitch was caught doing something you can't really come back from. Police arrest the gamer who goes by Mr. Deadmoth. Why? Well, while he was playing Fortnite, he took a quick break to beat up on his wife. This was absolutely appalling to the people watching. At first, they thought it was some kind of joke. After all, who does that? His wife wanted him to stop playing the game. She asked him a few times and was throwing things at him and getting upset. Well, the comedy stopped when the streamer got upset too. He started screaming and cussing at her, and then, after she threw a cardboard box at his head, he got up from his chair, disappeared off screen, and then the people watching his live stream heard the loud slap of skin on skin. A few seconds later, the woman could be heard screaming, and a child somewhere in the room was crying. The streamer could then be heard saying, quote, "How many times do I have to tell you?" End quote. Sheesh. This guy's streaming career ended that very second. His wife said that she was pregnant and he was beating her up off camera. After the incident, he deleted all of his accounts, including Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. But this didn't stop people from reporting him, and soon after he slapped his wife, the New South Wales police arrested him and charged him with assault. Number 7. Live Intruders. In June of 2021 in South Africa, a live streamer was in the middle of playing a heated match of Call of Duty Warzone with her family when 3 intruders burst into their home and robbed them. Oh, and the whole thing was caught on live stream. The incident took place in the Amberfield Valley estate, with the streamer Miss Bandit and her husband and their 2 sons being the victims of the attack. The entire thing was captured on her webcam, and the video is still floating around for those curious enough to watch. The intruders kicked down the door, forcing everybody to get on the floor. They told everyone to remain calm and then ransacked the house. Miss Bandit later confirmed that one of the 3 intruders was carrying a firearm, citing, quote, "One of the intruders grabbed my headset and I turned around only to face a man with a firearm. They told us to get on the floor and remain calm." The crooks took their cell phones, the TV, their laptops, and all their electronic gear. They also stole the family car. The people who were watching the stream were helpless as Miss Bandit and her family were robbed blind. The lucky thing here is that nobody was hurt. Last we heard, no arrests have been made, even though at least one of the attackers showed his face on the webcam. Number 6. Facebook Live. In April of 2017, there was a nationwide manhunt for a man who shot somebody to death while filming the whole thing on Facebook Live. The suspect was Steve Stevens, who said in a disturbing follow-up video to the murder that he had already killed 13 people and was in the middle of a killing spree. The poor victim was Robert Goodwin, 74 years old. Robert was walking home from having Easter lunch on a peaceful Sunday afternoon when Steve randomly targeted him and streamed it all live as he shot the man to death. What disturbed people the most, unsurprisingly, wasn't actually the death of the old man, but that the fact that Facebook allowed the video to stay on its site for hours afterwards. Millions of people watched the brutal killing before Facebook realized what was happening and took the video down. It also took some time before police figured out what was going on and put out a picture of Steve Stevens and issued an arrest warrant. They did eventually catch Steve after he was spotted in Pennsylvania. Out of all the places he could have gone, he drove his car into a McDonald's drive-thru where he was immediately recognized, and that person called the cops. What would you do if you saw this live stream? Let us know in the comments below, and if you're liking this video, be sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe buttons. Number 5. News Crew Massacre. It was on a Wednesday morning when a southwestern Virginia television crew were in the middle of a live broadcast. Everything was totally normal as the journalists did their interview. Nobody noticed that the man standing behind them had a gun in his pocket. That is, until he pulled it out and pointed it directly at them. He shot Allison Parker and her cameraman, Adam Ward, in cold blood. The viewers at home were mortified. The police were able to identify the killer as Vester Lee Flanagan II. I mean, if you're broadcasting yourself killing people on TV, the jig is up. You're caught. Flanagan knew that he would never get out of the situation as a free man, so he took the coward's way out before police could catch up to him. After all, his face and the murders were broadcast on screens all across the country, and it was all over social media. Before he took his own life, Flanagan claimed that his motive was racism from the broadcast network. He was upset because they allegedly bullied him. However, Franklin County Sheriff Bill Overton said Flanagan was just, and I quote, disturbed in some way. Number 4. Drunk Stepdad. When streamer going by the name Silky White went live on Twitch back in July of 2020, he wasn't really expecting to have a clip of him fighting his stepdad caught on stream. Twitch has since deleted it to avoid breaking the platform's terms of service, but the altercation was recorded by the internet and has since resurfaced and gone viral on Reddit and other platforms. In this clip, his stepdad is yelling at Silky White for not having a job. Silky insisted that the streaming was his job, which actually can be a good way to make money if you're good at video games. The stepdad called it, quote, masturbating in front of a green screen, in which Silky replies, quote, hell yeah I am. Do whatever I want in front of this green screen? Yeah, that's how it goes. We pay you money, that's how it goes. You're drunk as shiznit, shut up. He wasn't taking any smack. He told his stepfather to go upstairs multiple times, but he chose to charge at the streamer as he was sitting down in his gaming chair. Instead of getting the drop on him, the chair acted similar to a catapult. Silky rebounded right back in his face for a punishing counterattack. Can you imagine seeing this drama unfold? In the end, his stepdad was reported to police and charged with assault. Silky White is back to streaming and apologized to his viewers, saying, quote, I just want to stream and have fun with you guys, but sometimes it's hard. Number 3. daredevil fail. Woo Young-ying was live streaming a bold stunt, but unfortunately for him, it didn't end very well. He had done stunts like this many times before and considered himself a daredevil and an adrenaline junkie, but this time he was doing the stunt in an attempt to make some cash for his wedding and help pay for his mom's hospital bills. Aww. In November of 2017, the 26-year-old daredevil climbed 62 stories and clung to the edge of a skyscraper while holding a selfie stick and live streaming. If that sounds nuts, that's because it is. But while he was holding onto the side of the skyscraper, he lost his grip and tumbled all the way down to the street below. A window cleaner discovered his body. The disturbing clip of his death has gathered over 15 million views and shares. He was lowering himself over the edge of the building to do pull-ups when he fell, as he couldn't lift himself up to actually do the pull-up. And to make the story even more tragic, he was planning to propose to his girlfriend the day after the stunt. He figured that because it was so daring, he would make a ton of money and tips from his online viewers. Ever since his death, his fans have been sending plenty of tributes to him, which will hopefully help with his mother's hospital bills. Though, to be honest, she probably doesn't care that much about the money anymore. Number 2, set on fire. Brianna Jungwirth accidentally set herself on fire in a live stream. It happened during the coronavirus lockdown. She was hanging out with a friend live streaming their, quote, fun life and playing with a candle. If you don't know, Brianna is the ex of Louis Tomlinson, the former singer for One Direction. While she was busy catching on fire on livestream, their baby was in the other room. Her sweater touched the flame of the candle and immediately ignited. There were a few horrifying seconds in which Brianna screamed and flailed while literally ablaze. The fire wasn't that big though. She managed to get the sweater off and put out the flames. It could have been a lot worse. Even after the fire was out, she kept messing around with the candle. Big eye roll. Fans online accused her of being reckless and nearly burning down her house, with her baby and herself inside of it. Number 1, cat filter. Almost every girl on social media is obsessed with filters. You can make someone look prettier, uglier, funnier, etc. You know what we're talking about. But it is a cat filter that is causing some serious problems across the globe, with people who don't quite understand how to live stream. One of the most hilarious examples happened a few months ago, when the Canadian police had to apologize for technical difficulties that resulted in an absolutely bizarre news conference. The conference was about a double murder, something that doesn't need any added comedy, obviously. They were live streaming the conference on Facebook, and somebody had accidentally applied the cat filter. Oops, someone's fired. So while Sergeant Janelle Shohit of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police discussed the grisly double murder, she happened to have cartoon cat ears and whiskers. The murder itself involved an American woman and her boyfriend from Australia who were killed in a fatal shootout on a remote stretch of highway in the province of British Columbia. Naturally, the families of those involved didn't think that the cat ears and whiskers were very amusing. Thanks for watching. What's the craziest thing you've ever seen on a live stream? Let us know in the comments down below, and don't forget to subscribe. See you next time on The Bad Badger.